This is the transformations practice exam. So I'm going to go through this. It says draw accurately the reflection of the letter F in the mirror of the line M. So it's 3 spaces over here, so it should be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 spaces here. Here. 2 spaces. There you go. So there's the reflection of F. Now for this one right here, I'm going to trace this out a little bit better. Here's my triangle here. And it says how many lines of symmetry does this triangle have, and it also says that this states that this is an isosceles triangle. So it's going to be 1 line of symmetry. Now, for the next one, it says write down the order of rotation symmetry of this triangle. Now, isosceles triangles only have a rotational, the order of 0. On the grid above, draw a rotation of this triangle about O through 180 degrees. I went through and did this in class with patty paper, and I was able to actually go through and do this. I do not have patty paper right now. I ran out. So I'm going to go through, and where it does come out, let's see, that goes down 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3. So there's my point there. 2, 1, 2, 2. So my new triangle, as I rotate it, there we go. There's this as I rotate it all the way around about this point right here. And so let's see, the next part says describe fully another single transformation that maps the triangle onto your answer for the third one. So another way that I could have done is, now because this rotates all the way around, it's 180 degree rotation, but also what I could do is reflection across the x-axis. It says each diagram below shows a shaded letter and its image. Okay, in each case, describe fully the single transformation what maps the shaded figure onto its image. Show shaded onto its image. So now, this is going to be a rotation. And this one, if it's going here to here, this could be clockwise. And the rotation from here to here is going to put it 90 degrees. And this is or also known as the center of rotation, which will work also. And for this one right here, we know that this is going to be a dilation. And I'm going to be a stickler that you have to go through and explain why. So one way I keep saying is from here, show that this actually maps onto there. So I'm going to, that one goes with that one there. Let's see, this one goes with that one there. So it shows where the points actually connect, and down to a point right about here. And this is actually going to be, it's going to be dilated from this point here. So it's actually going to be shrank, because if I'm starting from this one down to here, this is actually reduced. So I will point out again, it says describe fully. So please make sure you do and actually explain why This isn't just a multiple choice guess here and here. You have to explain your reasonings for these. Now this one right here, it says from here to here, so this onto its shaded, so now it's going to be transformed Okay, so I'm going to take this point here, and it's got to end up on this point right here. So my vector is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be right 7 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's transform right 7, up 5. Now this one right here, it actually has a whole bunch of questions here. It says shapes T, A, and B are drawn on the grid above. In each case, describe fully a single transformation from which it maps. Now T onto A. So T to A. So now from going from here to here, this is a transformation. Okay. So transformation. So it's transformed from, let's see, left. So I'm going to go from this point here onto this point right here. Left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's transformed -5, so it's left 5 and down 5. So there we go right there. And now the next one says T onto B. So it says right here, T onto B, right here. And so let's take a look. So T onto B, so if I look, it's getting bigger, so that means it's a dilation. So I'm going to put dilation. Now, let's take a look. Now I'm going to use this. Let's see where it's dilating from. So I'm going to take this point, I'm going to match it with that one. Do the same thing here. I'm going to match it with that one there. And I'm going to take this point here, I'm going to match it with the end over there. So, as they all come together at O, so it's dilated from this point. So if it's T onto B, so it actually is going to be enlarged. So I just wrote enlarged down there. I'll bring it back up just so you can see this in a moment. So it's enlarged. Now let's figure out. So I know this point is going to end up on that point right there. So from this point, let's see, it's going to be right 1, up 2. So right over here, I'm going to start off, because my factor, I'm going to put an X for my scale factor, and it's right 1, up 2. So it's multiplied by something, multiplied by my scale factor, and I'm going to have to go to here now. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to be right here, this is going to end up be 2, and this is 4. Now I have to look, what do I multiply by to go from here to right here? So if I look, I would multiply by 2, so my scale factor is 2. So I have a scale factor of 2 here. Now the next one says, let's take a look. It says, draw on the grid the rotation of T by 90 degrees counterclockwise about 0, 0. Alright, so now for this one right here, we're rotating T 90 degrees. I had to come up with something better than patty paper, because I am just that good. Anyway, alright, so we're going to rotate it around the origin 0, 0, and we're going to label it R. So it's counterclockwise, we're rotating T. So I have next best thing than patty paper. So just a chunk of clear plastic. Alright. There I go, and it's going to be about the origin right here. So let's do that. So I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees. So put that back on the origin. There's 90 degrees. And so there is my new points. There's going to be my new points right there. So I'm going to label that. So that is -1, 1. Going to be the point there. So -1, 1. Let's see if that lines up before I finalize that. Yep, that one's it right there. So now I have that there. And I need to label this one R. There we go. And now this next one says, draw the grid reflected of T in the line y equals -1. So now let's go ahead and take a look and find y equals -1. Here's the y value here. Here's the y value. Here's where -1 is. So there is going to be my line that I'm reflecting across right there. So I'm going to reflect this. So now from right here, this is 2 up from my line, so I go 2 down. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Right here it says 1, 2, 1, 2. And there, here. 3 right here. There we go, and it says label this one M. There we go. Alright, this problem right here says in quadrilateral ABCD, a line L and point M are shown in the grid above. Write down the mathematical name for the quadrilateral. So that quadrilateral right there is a trapezoid. There we go. And the next one says, transform, on the grid above, draw the image of the quadrilateral under the following transformations. So this is a translation of the vector. So it's right 7. There you go. It says right 7, down 2. Label this image P. Right 7, so I'm going to take this point right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and down 2, 1, 2. That's going to be my C value. Let's see, that goes that way. So there, goes there, 3 over, and right there, and we'll label that one P. So now the next one, it says reflection in the line L. So if I'm looking, this is line L, so we're reflecting it this way. So let's see, it's 2 over from my line, so that means it's 2 over here. So I'm going to have a dot here, dot here, dot here. This one is 1, 2, 3. There we go. So this is what my image is going to look like now. And label this one Q. So there it is, reflected across that. The next one says rotation center A through 90 degrees counterclockwise. So counterclockwise. So let's see. I could do this one here again. So it's through A. So we're rotating this one counterclockwise. So that means I'm turning it this way, counterclockwise, and I'm lining up my cross right there at A. So let's see if I move this down, so right there. See if that lines up again there. There we go, and it says label this one R. There we go, I labeled it R. And now the next one says enlargement center O, scale factor of 2. So now here is, so I'm going to do this one red, so it's slightly different here. So from O to A, it's going to be right 1 up 2. So for A, it's going to be right 1 up 2, and scale factor of 2, which would give me, from O, it's going to be 2 and 4. And that's going to be my A prime. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now for B, so from O to B, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2. Scale factor 2, which is going to give me 8 and 4. And that is my B prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my B prime. Now for C, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's up 4 over 4. Or, I'm sorry, right 4, up 4. Scale factor of 2 gives me 8. 8. My C prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's my C prime. Now for the D, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's right 3 up 4 times 2 is going to be 6 and 8. The D prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's D prime. So now my new shape should look like this, and label that one S. There we go. Alright, number 6 says on the grid, draw the reflection of the parallelogram in line x equals 4. 2, 3, 4. There's where my x is equal to 4. So my reflection is going to be right here. And let's see, this point right here is already on the line, so it stays there. This one over here, 1, 2. Now I go the other direction, 1, 2. So that matches that point. Now let's look. This point right here, it goes over 1 from my line, so it goes over 1 here. Now this one is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So this is over 1, 2, 3. There's my points. And this one matches up here. This one matches up here. There we go. I have reflected it across that line. It says right here, describe fully the single transformation which maps the triangle A onto B. Now this one was a tricky one, where this one is it's a reflection, because that's the only way I could get this to turn over. If I move it down, it doesn't match it. So the only way I could actually get it to turn over would be to do a reflection. Now, when you reflect across the diagonal with the X and Y, it actually changes the direction that it goes. So if I'm reflecting across right here, here's my line of reflection. So this is and we have to reflect across the diagonal on this one. Now for the next part, it says on the grid, draw the image of triangle A after rotation 90 degrees clockwise about the point 1, 1. To put the point 1, 1, so we're rotating A. And there's my point. So I rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. That's this direction. Let's see, let's line those up again. And so let's see what it looks like. That's what it's going to look like right there. So it's going to be here, here, and here. Let's see. Yep, that does match up. So there is my rotation of, so that's A, there's my A prime, rotated 90 degrees. Now, let's take a look right here. For this problem, it says two different single transformations can make up shape onto shape B. So, let's see. If I were to take this and let's first call this a reflection. Now this is going to reflect across, let's see, so right here, so this is going to be my line of reflection here. So reflection across the y-axis. And now for this one right here, we could also do a, it's going to translation. I'm sorry, excuse me, translation. Now let's see which way is it going. So from this point here to this point right here, it's going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's right 8. And it's not moving up and down at all, so it's going to be a up and down 0. So it's a translation 8 to the right and up 0.